here we are. Neither one of us caring why. I'm gonna give you all of it, honey, because I got it to give. What's going on? It's your girl Fathom DJ, live and direct from the city of ATL. I am standing here in front of my lovely, not finished, mind you. Boogie Night is gonna finish, or I'm gonna go to Arizona and things are gonna get interesting. Anyway, in front of my lovely console, I'm having an issue with streaming. I have been streaming on Twitch. I don't even remember when I started now. It's most certainly at the top of the height of the pandemic. We are still in the pandemic, by the way. But I am streaming and I have a conflict now. Now, mind you, when I first put the setup together, I had not streamed in 2 months. I have been streaming in some capacity. And I started streaming back in 1802 on Ustream and a bunch of other sites. But Twitch, I started streaming during the height of the pandemic. And I came across an interesting issue the other day. I'm going to give you the disclaimer. Number one, I'm an artist and I am more concerned about getting to work than I am concerned about aesthetics in a lot of ways. Like, I want it to look good, but I would prefer it to sound good. Visuals are most certainly important in this internet, in this World Wide Webosphere. That's one thing. But as it stands, my shit is all over the place, and that's just how I'm rolling right now. Part of the reason why it's all over the place is because I have a technical issue that I just isolated the other night. So I was streaming a mix so I could go through the process of figuring out why I was getting this incredibly interesting noise during Music and Wine, which is set to happen this evening around the hour of 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Pollard Den Music on Twitch. I just need to let you know that it may not happen tonight because I just found the issue. It is New Year's and I have had the pleasure of being at work until the hour of 6:30 a.m. for one reason or another at Pollard Den in the physical space. For the last couple days. But my goal is I found out what the issue is with my setup, and I'm happy to convey the fact that it is not my computer that I DJ on. I have two MacBook Pro 15 inches that are, one is probably a 2015, and that would be this girl, and the other one that would normally sit here is, I think it might be a 2016 or a 2017 generation computer. And I thought it was the new girl that I just purchased. I have a few. But it is not. It is coming from this older girl who has been offline, who just started getting put online from a space of desperation in probably September. Normally, she does not get online at all. I only use her for DJing normally. She goes to the venues with me. She is the front girl, and she could be a backup for other things, but I hardly ever put her on the internet because I have had viruses. Now, this video might get blocked or what have you because the good Apple doesn't want you to know they get viruses. But I have a very fragile 2015 that got shot down shortly after I got it in 2015 because it caught a virus. That's another story for another time. Anywho, so the other day, which was Friday, I started streaming a mix and trying to recreate my buzzing noise that I got. And points, it was really low and it was just a little there, but I pushed it. So I started playing with all of these pieces of equipment that I have that are making my setup what it is. All these cameras, all these wires were never intentionally separated. Of course, when I started this process, I was like, yo, I'm gonna try to be neater, da, 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 da. Then when I decided that I wanted to have a bookshelf built underneath, I was just like, it doesn't make sense. You're gonna move it anyway. You gotta move it for the bookshelf. Just get the shit up there and get to work. So that is the reason why all these wires are just kind of haphazardly thrown, things are plugged in and what have you. And in actuality, my staring at this for forever and going, you need to neaten the wires, you need to get everything compiled, and should have happened regardless, because now that is the reason, I think, that is the reason why I'm getting this buzzing, irritating kind of fax noise when I stream on Twitch. Noise is happening as I see it, as I understand it. And I'm not an audio engineer, I'm not an audio tech. I am a girl who has discovered and learned things over the course of her tenure as a nerd, firstly, as a DJ, secondly, as my tenure as a DJ. Over these years, I've learned a lot of things, and I've learned a lot more as of late because I've intentionally been diving further into the school of YouTube as we know it for this purpose. So for the sake of the fact that I've taken pictures of this equipment already, I'm going to, and this is bothering my spirit, it's been bothering my spirit since I found the noise. Not that it wasn't bothering my spirit before based on its visually being unorganized, but it's been bothering my spirit that I have this noise coming. And so I've wanted, to a degree, I have to give you this information, I wanted to unplug everything, but once you get the sound quality that you want, and I mean I can play with lighting, I can play with cameras, I can play with everything, not everything, I can play with those things all day long, but my sound quality, a few issues with, and I don't think that I reported those issues either, based on me trying to take the more I'm sorry, Francois K, I love you and everything, but you can't, I don't need your help right now. Thank you. That's Francois K, one of my favorites of the threesome from Body and Soul in New York City. He made Go Bang, for those of you who don't know. Go Bang is a legendary tune for the dance / house community. Anyway, notice that my stream was jacked up, and I have had a bit of anxiety about unplugging all of this stuff because of the fact that I don't want to lose the sound quality that I had so much turmoil getting based on using PCs and cheapening my experience to try to save money. But I ended up having to pull some triggers, and my sound quality is now amazing. So you understand why I'm struggling about wanting to pull this all apart in order to clean up my wires so that I hopefully don't have that interesting little fax machine / buzzing noise that occurred during my session for Smash or Trash last Friday. That means I didn't do it this week. I thought about it. I tried to stream. The glitch was not there audio wise for hours. As soon as I went to Twitch and started streaming, it started to make itself a little more pronounced. Then when I started wiggling cords, it made itself really pronounced. So I know that it's a cord issue, and again, the hope is that it is based on the idea that I have audio cords commingling with electronic cords. I admit that that is probably sound quality 101 no. But once again, all I'm trying to do is work and make it look presentable enough so that I can get opportunities and I can address my Twitch stream and my Spreaker stream and take that content and spread it around the universe, because that's a part of what us DJs now do. This needs to be said, this needs to be documented, because people need to know how much DJs are going through to bring you these vibes during the pandemic. This is called tech, And I know that some DJs aren't as savvy. Some aren't tech savvy. There are people who are hiring tech support and hiring technicians to come in and to set them up. I've actually set up a few people myself via the internet. So I get the idea of that, and of course I could probably call somebody and they can come in and they can charge me an arm and a leg to tell me what the problem is, to tell me what I should do, and then to fix it. An arm and a leg, I don't have it, being honest. So I have to go through these trials and tribulations to figure it out myself. And because I'm a Jedi, that's what I'm going to do. So that's that for now. We're going to edit this and everything's going to work out. So my goal is to break everything down, or break this side down slowly. I've taken photos of every piece of connection so that I can connect it back the way that it was before. We're going to walk through it because I got time at the moment. I'm going to unplug some things. I'm going to grab some Velcro cords. It makes me nervous, but I'm probably going to unearth my turntables, pull down the mixer, pull down most of the gear on this console, move it forward, because this is temporary, like I said, and get behind it. And there are a few things I need to do. I need to get behind it because I have a camera up there, and the goal is to be able to stream with my green screens, which are behind and on the side of me, and utilize some other visuals for that, and get behind it and neaten these cords up and have them directed so that they are not overlapping and creating these conflicts sound-wise that I have. So I'm probably gonna get quiet. I'm not gonna get quiet. That's not what I do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start unraveling all of this after I forgot something. After I get the Velcro cords so that I have everything that I need. Alright, so for the sake of it, I have two types. I have these plastic cheesy zip cords. They're not my favorite because they're not flexible. And then of course I have this nice little round Velcro, I don't know what they're called, they're Velcro cord ties. And you normally, when you get little electronics and things of that nature, they give you some. So I was able to secure or procure a few others. All right, so to take it from the top, because this is a twofer, so just so you know, and I think I posted a video. Yes, I posted a video on the channel of this. This is my most recent purchase. No, it's not, but the second most recent purchase, and it is my favorite Reloop Control Performance Pad, and I love it. And I'm still waiting on Boogie Night to send me the ledge that goes here for it. So these are my DJ at home headphones. These are Sennheisers. They were very inexpensive. I don't think I did a unboxing of these. I did not. These are the HD 202s, and these stay at home, and I use them for DJing at home. Of course, I have the AIs from 1802 that I'm still fooling with when I work outside of the house, which I do Wednesday through, I do that, no, I don't work. I work all the time. I work out of the house on Wednesdays and Saturdays at Pollard Inn. That's that. So, yeah, this is my favorite manifestation for 2020. And this is the Shure isolator. Pick it up. Everything needs to be cleaned anyway, so I highly doubt that I'm gonna do my show Music and Wine tonight. I highly doubt it. But I think the girls will be relieved. Nonetheless, if we have to postpone it for next Sunday, I'm sure they won't have a problem with it, because They can't do without me. So yes, this isolator, drooling over for probably the last 7 years, and put it on my list to purchase, and had an opportunity in 2020 to actually purchase this girl, thanks to the good people who provided me with grants for COVID. So I went ahead and purchased it, and it is my favorite effects module, for lack of a better term, to enhance my sound quality. I'm about to break it. My sound quality for DJing at home. And do I have to unplug it? This is probably one of the easier things to plug back up. So I was exhausted about the idea of having to pull all of this apart. Remedy, I'm doing it right now before your very eyes, and I'm nervous. So anyway, so this is the little extra ledge that Boogie made in order to accommodate my isolator, and it almost fit, but it didn't, and so I had to make some modifications. He was supposed to be sending me another one. These are the RCAs that go to the ins and outs of the isolator, and this is where everything really runs through. So the mixer goes out into something else, and it runs into here, and this signal is sent out to my stream through my mixer and my Mackie Big Knob, which I'm happy to report was not the issue. As you know, I was having problems with Mackie Big Knobs and Sounds. It's on the channel if you haven't seen it. So my most recent purchase, interestingly enough, are these Serato controllers, and what makes them special? The fact, thicker lock vinyl. So, and I started doing it the other day while I was trying to recover from anxiety based on my sound quality being jacked up. Sticker lock, so they have these little sticker tabs, and they help you signal cues that you create in Serato. And it took them forever to send them to me from some vendor on Amazon, but now I have them, and I'm starting to stick my hot cue stickers on them so they will signal and aid me in quickly get into my hot cue points and helping me with something that I have struggled with. I'm not really struggled, I'm just not really keen on cutting and scratching. So I thought if I added them, they would help me with getting quicker on Serato DVS, which I only use at home. I'm not spinning anywhere that has the S9 or the S11, so I don't really have a need for them outside of the house currently. It change. The hope is it does when the world opens up. But for now, I'm using them at home. So that's that. Technique 1200s, have had them for well over, more than 20 years at this point. And there is, of course, a story behind them, which I will share at another time. So what I did recently, I purchased a Tascam little recorder to separate recordings for a few reasons. Number one, my recordings on Twitch have my vocals. Number two, is because I wanted to extract the audio from the vocals, and my current setup doesn't have a way to do that. Like, I can record in Twitch and extract the audio from the video in Twitch, but my vocals will be on there. I also record to Spreaker, but again, my vocals are on those recordings. So I wanted to do something that would only record the audio. As for the usage of Serato's recording function, it doesn't work with the DVS. With this Denon box that I have, you cannot record. I've tried it. Every time I've tried to record from the mix, I've gotten long beeps. Like 3 hours of long beeps. I don't know everything. but I know that shit didn't work. So having said that, I got this these XLR splitters to chop up the signal from the isolator, because this is where all the sound is coming from, the isolator into the mixer. So I got a splitter, XLR splitters, which you can see are somewhat tangled. Just one of my issues is to neaten these, but for the sake of the conversation, I'm gonna stand here with more anxiety and go ahead and undo these cords. I'm literally like, I can feel my chest tightening unplugging this. This is how passionate I am about what I do and being able to quickly recover from it. So for those of you who don't know, you most certainly can get the 2-ring audio, TRSS I think, to the XLR males from Amazon if you need that. So that is going to go there. I'm doing this super slow. I'm not even gonna front about it because I said I'm struggling. All right, so I have this, and I don't know if you'll be able to see this. We're gonna go down some more. So these are the Eon 28P little speaker PA system that I brag about, that I purchased for small gigs. I used it in November for a private party that I did in someone's fabulous loft here in Atlanta, and I am running sound out of here in order to be able to get sound to these speakers from my stream, right? I'm also running sound out of here to my desktop, and that's another day for another video. So yeah, so this is a 28P mixer that goes with these little speakers, and these are the speakers that I carry around for smaller gigs. Now, of course, I have a pair of JBL, what is it, 62015s, I think is the number, and I take those for weddings and things of that nature. But if you ask me to do a private party in your home or something of that nature, and of course they can be used outside because we have these at Parlor and they work relatively well, but if you need more bottom, then you definitely want to use something that is active in its own right. But for the sake of the conversation, this mixer runs out to my desktop in addition to lovely little girls that sit on these tripods here. And clearly I'm fond of JBL. JBL makes is a sister to Boys, is a sister to Harman, I think it's Harman Kardon equipment and things of that nature, and they're reputable. So that is the reason why I stick to them. I have Harman Kardon headphones, I have JBL headphones, and of course I have JBL speakers. So this is probably one of the easier things to undo, because the only purpose that it serves is to distribute sound in my studio, period. So these little side pockets were created to store things, and I have no problem storing things in them. This is the little Tascam girl that I was talking about earlier to record from, that I just got recently, and I got it off of Amazon. It is the Tascam DR07X. Stalling because I am downloading visuals so that I can have more room on this other cart. Of course, these are wonderful, and I got them off of eBay, and they look rich. They didn't cost me an arm and a leg. These are record weights. You put them on top of your records to for real vinyl. You probably could use them with Serato. I don't know if it's going to help with the sound quality, but these most certainly help with the sound quality of vinyl. They're called weights, record weights. And I got these relatively cheaply on eBay. They probably were like 19 bucks for the two, or either, I think they were actually 19 bucks each. Gadgets and things, like I said, in the little pockets, most of them pertain to my stream and streaming. I have lights and I have the remotes for the lights. If I decide I need more light, if I want to create a different mood, then I have the remotes. You've seen these everywhere. They don't cost an arm and a leg. The remotes for the stream, for the lights, so that I can brighten my stream. These little girls, I use them to hear from my laptop, and especially now that I'm using Loopback as an app, as well as Zoom, sometimes I need to hear directly from my computer and isolate the sound of Samantha and Miss IDB on Zoom from the rest of the sound. That is why I have those little earbuds. And I'm stalling because, once again, this is not what I want to do, but I'm not being dramatic, I'm being honest on that. So this USB hub, RSH Tech, and I think it ended up being like $39. I got I think it starts with an A longer, more heavy duty USB hub on my desk that pretty much handles all of my stuff on my desk. My printer, my keyboards, my drum pads, my camera, and all of those cords. I just keep them in there so that when I'm ready to work quickly, I can just plug shit in, unplug it, and go and keep it moving. This one is over here because it houses the cords for all three of my webcams, as well as my hardwire to my Wi-Fi, in addition to the USB for the Mackie Big Knob. And I thought that this was the problem because it's less expensive. I thought maybe, oh, you know, maybe it's fried, maybe it got damaged, maybe because it's cheap, doesn't work that well. I thought this was my issue in terms of the connectivity that's creating the buzzing noise from my stream. As far as I understand, I changed out the USB hub from my desktop and used it. That was not the issue. Just so you know, I'm stepping through it. Take all night, I gotta do it. That's the way that it is. So once again, that is the RSH Tech USB hub, or some people call it the 4-port 3.0, and it costs a little under 40 bucks on Amazon. My Jedi Reggie thought that it was possibly a cord loose or damaged. All these freaking cords. So I did. I pulled out my USB cords from the plug. I replaced the USB cords from my Mackie Big Knob. I replaced the USB cord to this hub. I switched them out for the sake of my nerves and the fact that this is a tedious job, that it is indeed what I think it is, buzzing. So for the sake of the conversation, this is what I use to stream. Did not say it was the greatest. I know that there are true podcasting microphones, but for the sake of the conversation, this is the Shure PG58 microphone. They come in twos. This is the receiver for the mics, and of course it's Shure as well. So we're gonna power her down and unplug Maybe we won't unplug her, but we'll definitely electrically unplug her. So just so you see that, that is what I am currently using to stream with. It is the BLX88 Shure receiver, and I got it from Sound. So this is the Pioneer DJM 450 on the channel with this. Thought that this was the issue with my sound quality in general when I first started streaming again on the PC. I thought that this was cheaply made and that I'll say this would not be my choice mixer for a venue. Now, if it's a small venue, I might bend the rules. If it's a larger venue, I definitely would not suggest the 450. It is definitely a more hobbyist mixer. So I gotta grab my phone because I want to take pictures of the connection of this so that I can be reminded of exactly what I connected, so we can put things back the way that they were, and I can continue my mission after I figure out what the hell, after I'm sure that the issue is what it is. Anyway, so this is where so I wouldn't suggest this for a major club or venue. I suggest it for a small, you know, cocktail bar, small, just like the 28P mixer and these speakers. You could use them in a venue. You could use them in a small room. They will give you sound. It'll be decent sound. But if you're trying to push a little more sound out of them, you definitely want to go higher end. The assumption is that you can definitely get sound out of this mixer. The Pioneer 450, M450, for the price of it, it's a great mixer. It's got effects on it. It's got a USB now, so that means you can use it as a sound card. I plugged it in and tried it. It totally works for that. It does have record box in it. I am not a fan of record box per se. I use Serato. That is the reason why I have a Denon DJ box, and the unboxing for the Denon DJ box is also on the channel. Oh, whew, this is where the anxiety kicks up. I also just found out why I couldn't play out of my right channel analog. I was trying to play some vinyl the other day, and I just figured out why I wasn't able to do that, because I didn't have the dang right channel RCA cords plugged in. All right, so she is off, and of course the Denon box is unplugged. So what I had plugged into the Denon box, plugged into the Pioneer as well, because there is a little port that gives you a bit of charge, is the mic amplifier. So I have a mic amplifier that runs from the Shure cordless mic system that I showed you a few minutes ago, and I simply plug, probably to my deficit, I plug that into this 5-volt 1-amp USB port that's on the top of this lovely Pioneer 450. Do I love this girl? Yes. She's small. She don't take up a lot of space. I can do what I need to do with her, and I'm so very grateful that in less than 6 months I won't owe Sound any money for it. And again, that would be another piece. That's another piece that I manifested. Took me a little longer than I wanted, but I got it. Patience is key. Everything that you get, if you're true of heart, if you're true of spirit, the universe will provide you with a way to acquire it. You don't know how it's going to work out. As I tell people, the whole rip, that's not my work. My work is to be true, and if it is for me to have, then I will have it.